You can now go to any neighborhood in the city of Tucson.
I can't believe how much work you guys have done.
We've got over 10 distinct traffic circles, 150 streets, distinct basins in this neighborhood.
These traffic circles, there's a whole ecosystem happening right in the middle of the intersection.
But yeah, we've got a lot of endangered species in these ways that you would never expect to find in the
Seems like you're actually starting to get this real canopy coverage, casting a lot of shade over the streets and the whole neighborhood.
This is one of the sweet spots for sure. And this is how we want it. This is so much better than when we started. Honestly, my vision is so much more than you see today. The goal is to get to the point that we've got canopy on one side of the street, touching the canopy on the other side of the street. So you're just in continuous shade the whole way.
Hey, Brad, honestly, I think we need to stop. It is getting way too hot. I think we need to break for the afternoon.
Yeah, as you're experiencing right now, it's well over 100 degrees. We've never experienced that before in March.
But before we break for the afternoon, actually, there's one more thing I want to test out.
Okay.
All right, before we break from the heat today, I want to demonstrate something that I think that you are going to find really interesting. This is an infrared thermometer that when you shoot this beam at any surface, it tells you the temperature. Let's go find the spot that's been baking in the sun. When I measure this pavement, the surface temperature is about 127 degrees Fahrenheit, about 53 degrees Celsius. When I walk over to this water harvesting basin here, and I measure in a shady nook, the soil temperature is down below 97 degrees Fahrenheit, or 36 degrees Celsius. So that is a 30-degree Fahrenheit temperature change between the exposed asphalt and the shaded soil in these basins. There's this phenomenon called the heat island effect. When you have these really massive expanses of asphalt in buildings, roads, they absorb heat. And the cumulative effect is you create an island of heat, making a hotter environment hotter and hotter.
We are approaching 30 days of 110 degrees plus.
Outdoor spaces are becoming uninhabitable.
Our last electricity bill was over $350.
Extreme heat from across the country has killed dozens of people.
3 people in Pima County have died.
4 people died.
12 people have died. Heat has been suspected in hundreds of deaths.
Look, I know this is really heavy to talk about, but nearly 800 people died from heat in Arizona during the 2023 heat wave alone. But acknowledging the problem is the first step to fixing it.
My name is Anami. I grew up in Tucson. I've been here since I was about 3 years old. Definitely noticed the uptick in heat since then. It used to be here very anymore. A lot of people have the feeling of an imposing kind of danger. The hotter it gets, the more that people who aren't able to afford air conditioning going to get sick and die. Looking the other way isn't going to help. When I first read one of Brad's books, the thing that really stood out to me was anybody can move dirt. You literally just need a shovel. I know so many young people who are motivated and really wanting to get out there and who are getting out there. There is all kinds of momentum here. We are building basins. We are planting more trees. We are capturing more rainwater than we've ever captured before. Everywhere where there is rain, this can happen.
This project is directly demonstrating the solution to the heat island effect. When Brad first started this project, he had a vision, but other people couldn't even imagine this. So he literally wrote a book in order to explain how to do this for others. So if you want to know how to do this for others, there's a whole series of books that Brad's written that puts this all out into technical detail. And I've gone through these books over the years and gained a ton of insight for my own work. So Brad, you were my permaculture teacher 30 years ago. I mean, I've seen it since these trees here were just little twigs newly planted in the ground. I can see the long this project here and what you've accomplished. I'm curious, if you had more resources, how would you create an even bigger impact?
If we had more resources, we would make this work even more accessible and spread even further. We could dramatically improve and continue to evolve tools so people don't have to create from scratch full designs. They can just get the design for free, take it to the city, get the permit. Every year, we plant over 1.25 million gallons. Planted over 1,800 native food-bearing trees alone. Thousands of multi-use understory plants. And this is just one neighborhood. If every neighborhood in Tucson was doing this, what if every neighborhood statewide were doing this? We're transforming from black asphalt and concrete into these regenerative, thriving, living environments so people can see what's possible.
After I took my first permaculture class in 1996, when I came back from that class, I was like, this is it. This is what I want to do with my life. So that inspiration is what actually triggered my life's work. So it's really special coming back here, and I can just see the long-term application of persistence, will, and integrity in Brad and in the community, and really paying off. Where you have species returning, you have the temperature starting to lower, where you have massive amounts of water soaking into the ground, and where you actually have food security from native plants in a whole region. If you're one of the visionaries that believes in an ecological future where humans and nature can actually live harmoniously on this planet, then this is a great project for you to be supporting. This went from illegal to mandatory because it's just that effective. This is the roadmap. It's going to enable our vision for the future to come to fruition. Are you really inspired by this video? Well, there's 3 ways that you can support this work. Contribute directly to the project from this video. Sign up for the Patreon with exclusive content and extended interviews. Visit earthrepair.fund and help make the next fundraising video possible. So follow the QR codes, click the links, let's make this happen.
Oh, we almost stopped it 5 seconds too early. All right.
Welcome to my permaculture garden.
So now this is a completely different one, the next one. So anyway, did the audio just stop there for a little bit? Did we catch most of that, Mark?
Yes, it was just a few seconds that didn't have audio. Then later on, it was fine.
All right. Well, what do people think? Put some comments in. Raise your hand if you'd like to even come and talk with us and tell us about any other experiences that maybe you've had in your communities where water conservation has been used. And obviously, if you're in an area that water is maybe abundant, and I think Mark lives in one of those areas, it's not so much capturing it in total that's important, but it's capturing it maybe seasonally. I don't think there's anywhere in the world where there isn't at least time frames, years, even when there isn't a drought, a low water period. So anyway, let's talk a little more about this topic, and then I'm going to show you. So we're supporting EAT, and the Institute of Economics is one of these donors. We're supporting this project, and have committed to help Aaron in a lot of different ways, financially and otherwise. So anyway, put some thoughts and comments into the chat. I'm gonna leave the screen on, but I'm gonna increase the size here of my let's see here. Roger Hallam, one of our members or attendees here, is talking about. I've heard that name. The whole eastern United States right now is going through a huge heat episode, dangerously high. There's a comment about drought in the 1930s, which was the Dust Bowl days of the central United States. One of our members put in a link to Brad's website, so let's click on that. You seeing that, Mark? It's still on my same screen, so you're probably.
Yes. But you might want to make it full screen because it's too small window now. Yeah, now it's better.
It is cutting off the side over here, but most of the text isn't just. There's a couple of books that Brad has written. These are excellent, and I think you can actually get them given to you if you wouldn't be able to afford them. And obviously, there's been other videos. Here's a younger version of Brad. Other videos made about the efforts. Again, this is not new, everybody. Brad's been doing this, I think, at least 15 years, if not longer, in Tucson. But it doesn't have to be done on streets. Here's a great example of sidewalks just going into a residence, tiny little yard where, and you just think about small areas being watersheds where this water is being channeled down into this little basin, here into this one, here into from that. Here's where the stormwater runoff from the residence comes and is going into a bigger basin. It's overflowing into this one off the sidewalks. It's coming in here. Shade harvesting is also a big thing. So creating a canopy. I can't remember whether Brad talked about it in this video or it was another one. Big goal of his is on these streets in Tucson is to get the trees that are on each side of the road to have the canopies meet in the middle so that the entire street is shaded. So he's done his most recent blog here on rainwater harvesting harvestingrainwater.com. June 21st, a week ago. Here's showing the water movement in one location. That was the logo on Brad's shirt. So this must be what is one of their logos they use. So anyway, let's just go back to our I'm going to stop sharing here. And see what additional chat we might have. All right. So Robert asked, is OSU, that's where Andrew Millison is, still offering permaculture certificate? I'm not sure. I mean, I can't imagine it's not. Andrew does a lot of traveling now, Robert. I mean, I think he's on the road a lot of the year. Does that mean that he still doesn't, does or doesn't do courses? I'm not sure about that. So I know he doesn't spend as much time. He actually has a ranch over in Eastern Oregon, so not over on the coast where Oregon State is, but over on the eastern side of the state. We can look. I didn't do a search for him just now. I'm going to do that. We'll go into my AI here in a second and do that. That's a good question, Robert. Where do you get those big diameter tube drills? That's a good one. I don't know. Obviously, it would have to be a unique drill that'll go through concrete, and then I think those were at least 6-inch diameters that he was using.
Home Depot might have them. Home Depot or Lowe's.
Yeah, yeah. Simon Sinar, that's a name I've also heard of. Somebody asked, yes, I do play pickleball, and this is actually the one of the clubs that's here in the Boise area called Flying Pickle. There's a picture of the actual flying logo that they use for the club. But yeah, it is a pickleball shirt. Just going backwards here through our questions. Here's an interesting one, Mark. How an engineer brought back degraded wetlands back to life in a drought-hit Bangladesh. Let's look at that real quick. When did you go through a drought?
It's like it's every other year, maybe once every couple of years we get drought. Mostly rural. So in uh the
Here's the
rural areas.
locations. 2 wetlands located in northern district of Rangpur.
Hmm. Yeah, in the north, yes. And we also get floods. So it's poor water management on our part.
What's Baharado Beal? Is Beal a word?
Uh, it's the uh like lakes, body of water.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's shallow. So
Well, these are obviously wetland type farms here, probably
right.
rice. all that we're seeing. That's corn over there on this side of that field. Even though this is looking really flat, this has been contoured, everybody, where that's a swale, a berm and a swale right there where the water's being
Yeah,
directed down to this.
you stopped sharing, Wayne.
Oh,
We
I
don't.
stopped sharing.
Yeah,
You
so we don't see the screen anymore.
Okay, I gotta get that back. Now I'm not seeing my bar anywhere. So here we go.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. You should have said that earlier, Mark. All right, this is the article about Manga Bay. I was wondering why you weren't reacting, saying that you saw that.
Yeah, there it is. Yes. Wetlands and the beals you're talking about. So
Yeah. Heard of this area, the northern is the Rangpur?
Rangpur, yes, it's the northern part. Rangpur. Oh yeah, this is all like villages. In the village, you'll see those kind of places.
Here's what I was showing. I thought you were seeing. Rice fields probably alongside a
Yes.
irrigation ditch. And that's because that's not a natural waterway. It was probably
No.
man-made. You've got
Yeah,
excavators.
they also use that as a divider for two piece of lands. So they use that and also for irrigation.
And here's where I said this is corn back here,
Ah,
a river flowing through. But this is the last
right.
picture that I had where this has been good conservation where the water's being diverted down into this pond, and then different kinds of crops are growing. And this is a
Right.
berm and a swale.
Right. Mm. Those, look at those colorful boats.
Yeah. So this is very new, very recent article. Didn't see at the top. I didn't look and see the year or the month. April 3rd this year. So, is Manga Bay, is that a location, I wonder, or is that the name of this publication? Must be. Because that's obviously the header on this page.
Mhm.
All right. Well, one of our viewers was giving us that video. Well, we are at the top of the hour. That's good timing. We're just to the end of the topic that I wanted to be covering. I'll stop our sharing here again. Come on, go away. Stop sharing. Now I'm not bringing back my screen. There it is. Well, everybody's been awesome. Oh, Manga Bay is a internet publisher. That's you're asking. I don't know, Robert. That's a great question. And maybe Dr. Fewer, who weighed in here, says that might be something called the green wall which is an 8,000 kilometer living plant barrier spanning from Senegal to Djibouti. I don't know if that was, but here's probably an article he's given a link to here. Oh, no, it's not. This is in the Sahara in Africa, so it's not in Bangladesh. Well, this has been awesome, everybody. I was going to show something, and I'll do it first thing next week, of Andrew's web presence and his sites, and Aaron Axelrod's, who will be a guest for us sometime in the near future. So,
And advanced
tell us
4th of
about-
July.
Yeah, everybody have a wonderful 4th, but tell us about two new webinars we're going to have coming in the next month.
Yeah, we have one that is on the, okay, I'll pull up the late pages. The one is, give me a second. This is, okay, so.
Mark's sharing his screen there, everybody. So he's
All right, so Tim Christopherson is coming up on, he's going to be on the 15th, yeah, July
And
15th.
I'm going to show you his book, Mark. Let's just see.
Okay.
I'll put it in my camera. Keep showing the screen, and I think I'm highlighted anyway on it, so they'll see it in a little.
All right.
He sent me a copy of his book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there we go. Tim Christopherson.
Generation. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, this is published by a very large publishing house called Wiley. So this isn't just self-published. This is going to reach a lot of readers. And then we have a second one coming up, I think, after that.
Yeah, July 27th is the next one. It's going to be Jonathan Lutgreen, or I cannot pronounce last name. I'm not sure how to pronounce that.
We've
But
interviewed him before. And
yes, he's the second time on
so
it.
with our 10th anniversary that we're now just not even a month into, we're going to be doing a lot of our previous speakers with interviews. So, well,
Right.
everybody, it's been awesome. Have a great weekend anywhere where you're at in the world, in the US here, 4th of July.